The day is finally here. I'm going to be getting rid of this temporary stuff here, pulling wire to all those boxes, the service drops here, and I'll be getting at least 6 outlets working on this wall. In order to do that, I have to shut off the electricity to the entire shop. So what I'm going to do is get my wire pulls all ready to go before I turn off the electricity. Then we're going to turn off the electricity and work in dim light from there on. Give you an idea of what it's going to look like in here. Not too bad. This camera enhances low light, so it might look a little better on camera than it will in here, but I will be opening this door here, and this is kind of a dark area. I can actually see better than what the camera is seeing, and I do have a flashlight here, but I won't be needing that for the pulls. So let's get these wire pulls all set up, our bundles, and then we'll get to pulling. A whole bunch of the wire that I'm going to be pulling is going to be 30 feet long. So I'm going to measure 30 feet out on the floor and unwind enough for those. So, just as I thought, 30 feet comes almost to the door here. I'm just going to make a mark on the floor, and then I think the other one is 23.5 feet. I'll make a mark there as well, and then I'll set up a reel over here. Usually when you do a wire pull, you have your spools on a spindle and you have them right near the box, and say you're pulling 5 different wires, you have 5 different spools there, and they all feed into your conduit, and you have a second person there kind of pushing them in. I'm going to have to do this myself. I may be able to find somebody at the last minute to go on this side, but if not, I'll do it myself. But anyways, I don't have enough wire to do that. Like for this right here, I have 4 number 10s, and I only have 1 spool of black, 1 little spool of white, and a real little spool of blue. So there's no way I can set all those up. So I gotta put them on the floor and try not to get them all tangled up. Once I get everything cut, I'm gonna flip it over the machine and we'll try to detangle it as we go. Okay, here's my little spindle jig. I'm hoping I have 2 lengths of this blue. I think I do, but if not, I have 500 feet of black, and we'll use that. No, I do not have. Okay, I got to get a concrete block for the wire that's pulled on both ends. Okay, let me do that. There you have it. All right, like I said, I'm going to get everything bundled up on this end. This string, I'm just pulling this string along with it. I'm going to be using my fish tape to pull everything. I'm going to leave the string in there just in case I have to pull something else at a later date, but I really doubt it. I have a couple more circuits on that wall, but those are all going to be in their own conduit. So I got to gather everything together and get it hooked up to the fish tape. But before I can do that, I got to shut off the power and disconnect all this temporary stuff and open the door so I got a little more light. Yeah, and as soon as I get this stuff pulled and get it hooked up, well, actually I don't even need to hook it up. I just need to get it pulled. I can have it off to the side like this. What I need to do right away is get at least one circuit, this one right here, this box and this box. There's going to be a GFCI on that side and a switch and 2 duplex outlets on this side. There's going to be a sink right here at some point, which is why it has the GFCI. I know current code, I believe, calls for GFCI on every circuit. That's not going to happen out here. And these are ready to go. So as soon as I get that wire pulled, I'll hook these up to their breakers and get these outlets in place. That way, if it starts getting late, I can turn the power back on and plug all this stuff into these outlets, and I'll have light and all the other stuff out here. Another thing I forgot to mention is this pipe right here just goes up through the ceiling, and there's a big loop of this, I believe it's 4 gauge. It's pretty heavy wire. There's a big loop of this up there so that it can push up like that and get that stuff into the box. It's the same way on this side. What I got to do, I forgot to put the saddle on. The pipe has to be out of the way to put the saddle on. So what I got to do is disconnect the ground wire and push this wire back up through there, get this saddle attached up there, and then push it back through and reconnect that. Then I can connect these to, where is that? This 60 amp breaker here. I want to get everything so that I can close this box up today. I hate having this box open. So let's go shut off the power and I'll get this done. That's going to be a putz. We'll get that done and then we'll get back to the pulling. Okay, quick update. Probably going to need a little light because it's dark inside this box. Once I started working on getting this done, which was pretty easy, it took me about 10 minutes. I had to lift this up, slide it over. That's all by design. It did that real easy. I got this drilled, got that in place, tightened it down, put the bushings and stuff back on it. I went ahead and got that all hooked up right away so it was out of the way. Got a big old 60 amp breaker there. And again, that goes to the other side of the shop where it's going to be connected to a panel over there that's going to have the conduit for that wall and this wall over here. Okay, oh, and I got these 3 circuits in. These 2 down here is a circuit, these 2 are a circuit, and these 2 are a circuit. And as I said before, these are GFCI right here, including the light, just in case that drops into the sink somehow. Not likely, but we're going to do it anyways. So all I need to do is get these in place and I'll have permanent power once I turn this back on. So I think I'm going to do that right away. Get those wired up. Then we'll gather all this stuff up and connect it to the fish tape and start pulling. Okay, we have all the wire going up and it's attached to the fish tape. I decided to do this first because I can get a hand for the next hour. It took me well over a half hour to get this all taped up. I have, what is it, I have most of it going up and attached to the fish tape. And then I have a secondary set of 3 wires taped right to the other wires. I've done this before and never had a problem, but if they should pull out, all I got to do is pull these back out and I'll use this to pull them back through. But I don't think that's going to happen, and I'm going to be leaving this in the conduit for use later if need be. So while I still have the help, we're going to get this pulled. So what she's going to do is just feed this through and make sure no loops get in there. You know, it wants to loop up and stuff. It's real easy to untangle as you're going, but you can only do like a foot or 2 at a time and then stop, detangle, and then continue. We have a little bit of lube. Well, we got plenty of lube for this. We really don't need it. When I pushed the fish tape through, it went through smooth as silk. No glitches whatsoever. So we'll probably use a little bit of lube. I'll have her lube up just this very end and probably this, and then that'll be it. Okay, let me go grab her and we'll start to pull. Okay, so we're going to pull probably about 2 feet at a time, and then I'll have to stop and reel that in. And you'll want to stop and make sure that you don't have any kinks that'll go in the next pull. Okay. So just, you know, like 2 feet further down, if there's any kinks, you can get them out. The majority of the kinks are going to be closer to the end, and a lot of that may come out as we're pulling. So I may as well just put some lube on right away. Put it right by. Okay. Yuck. All right, and then once that part goes in, like I said, you're going to want to wipe your hands off too. So if you ever want me to stop, just say stop. And I'll let you know before I'm going to pull. So I'm going to reel this in a little bit. All right, just kind of guide it towards the hole. All right, let me reel in. Nothing is live in there. Straighten it out and get it into the hole nice and even. All right, now make sure everything is nice and smooth back. Okay. All right, now you're going to want to push closer to the hole. All right. And you're going to want to make sure it's going straight up into the hole. So you want to like stand right under the hole. All right. got stuff coming, so just let me know when you want me to stop.
Okay.
All right, pulling. All right, gather it up. All set?
Yep. Oh.
Okay. We're all the way through, but we have like 8 feet to pull beyond. But no matter what, if I goof up and start pulling like crazy, we don't want it
All the way in there.
all the way into the box.
Okay.
Especially that white,
Yeah.
the
That's
white
at
stuff. It's a little bit shorter. So when I can, I'm gonna disconnect that, and we won't let too much of that go through.
Okay.
You need to untangle. We're almost there. I mean, that is close to it, because right about where, that is, oh, sorry, honey.
Oh, that was me dropping it.
Let me see how long that is. That's probably done. Let me see how long it is, the lower one. Oh, you gotta pull it straight, I can't. Now, one is, a couple are, wow, that blue one is really long. I believe that's good. All right, thank you, honey.
No problem.
We're gonna have another pull. We'll probably just do it tomorrow. We're gonna pull over this way, but I have to reset everything up, and there's not gonna be time to do that today. And there you have it. I'm gonna be pulling the 4 orange wires down through one of these conduit into here, and then there's a bunch of wiring going on down there. The 3 whites are gonna stay up there for now, and then all of the rest are going over to that pull box, and from there, some are going over to those boxes over there, and then down to that box there, and then we have a couple wires going down to this box, and we're going to have some temporary wires going down to that box right there. That is going to be a 230 outlet for this dust collector right now, and then that's going to be switched over to a 20 amp outlet for just general use at a later date. I'll go into exactly why we're going to be doing that. Well, basically, it's so I can use my machines right away before the dust collector is all set up. I'm going to use this dust collector as is with a bag. That way I'll be able to run my jointer and all that stuff without having everything hooked up. I'll get some use out of my shop a little bit earlier. Okay, so like I said earlier, now I'm going to get these two outlets wired up right away, and that way we'll have something to plug into when I'm done for the day. I can't believe how long this is taking. I can't believe how long this is taking. I have this circuit wired to the GFCI and then on down to this right here. This is ready to close up. This I can't close up because I don't have a cover. I need something with the Decora on one side and a single switch on the other side. And I thought I had it, but I have the regular duplex plus a switch and regular duplex plus Decora, but I need Decora and a switch. So I don't have that cover. Doesn't matter. I'll just leave it like it is. We'll get this one closed off and got to separate all this stuff and get them oranges pulled down to here right away. Well, get everything pulled to where it goes. Then I got to do some splicing. I keep forgetting that I have these nice Wago connectors, but I do not have Wago connectors for 10 gauge. These go down to 12. I have it ordered, so as soon as that gets here, then I'll do that wiring, but for now, we got to get this pull done. So let's disconnect all this stuff and we'll get stuff pulled to the other boxes.